Okay. Hola, mi gente. Greetings. ¿Cómo estamos? How are we? It's Shay Alexander here, la negratienesazon of Sprinkle with Sazon Apothecary and Botanica. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh my goodness, it's here. The full moon in Taurus. Taurus placement. Prominent Taurus placement. Sun, moon, rising, Venus, 10th house, North Node, Chiron. Oh man, are you feeling it? Fixed signs. Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. Are you feeling it? My goodness. This reading right here is for Taurus. It is for the sign of Taurus, the energy of Taurus, specifically my Taurus moons, my Taurus suns and my Taurus moons. But then in those other prominent placements that I spoke about, this energy is strong. It's heavy. I don't know if you're following me on IG, but I encourage you to do so at negratienesazon on Instagram. And I did a video earlier this week just talking about like what other astrological transits are taking place, why this energy is feeling a little bit more compacted. This video is coming to you a little bit later, but I did that on purpose. So this video is coming to you live on the date of the actual full moon on Wednesday, November 5th. And in New York City, where I am, we just had an epic election. First Muslim, first millennial mayor elected. Detroit had some things going on. Georgia had some things going on. That Pluto and Aquarius energy is very strong, right? There's revolution around our systems and governments and the things and people and energies and entities that have been governing us collectively as a world, as global citizens, right? We have been kind of under the thumb of a particular blueprint, of a particular sect and set of rules, and now we're shifting from that. The astrology has been alluding to that for quite some time. Taurus, why this is important for you, my fellow bulls, is because this full moon, the super full moon, is kind of leading the pack in a series of super full moons that are going to close out 2025, which has been a very active astrological year. The other thing that's really important is that this moon is in direct opposition. There's a trine happening. And this moon is in opposition with Uranus. And so Uranus moved into the sign of Taurus way back when in 2018. And for you prominent Taurus placements, that may have been a moment of true shift beyond your control, right? That may have been, I don't know many Taurus placements that had a good shift in 2018. For a lot of us, it was like, okay, yeah, we're gonna shake this shit up for real. And so divorces were filed, or the processes began. It was the first time you had that conversation with your partner about petitioning for divorce. Maybe you got married in 2018 and then realized very quickly, as Uranus continued to transit through our sign, that this is not going to work, right? So now 7 years later, you may have gotten married when that transit happened, because Uranus opens roads, paths in ways that we never envisioned. You could have gotten married in 2018 and never had wanted to be married. And now 7 years later, at the tail end of this transit, because Uranus is retrograde going back into Taurus before it finally stations in Gemini, you may be looking up and saying, yeah, this is not it. I gave it a good old college try for 7 years, and I'm not meant to be a wife, a husband, a partner, long-term committed in this way or with this person or in this environment. I love this person, but they don't want to leave their family behind in Delaware, and I can't live in this state anymore. I gotta go. So those are the kind of shifts that we're talking about, not simple things like thinking of existentially, oh, maybe I shouldn't be at this job anymore. No, Uranus retrograding into the sign of Taurus, revisiting these moments in 2018 are big moments, court cases, custody cases, and custody battles. Yes, existential crises about who am I and what do I believe in and what matters to me. But now you're really about to do something about it, right? You're really finna get in the car and drive that in a whole different direction. So my advice for you before I even pull the cards, Taurus, is that this moon is delicious in the sense that it's confrontational in a way that we bulls love. We love to be hit hard with facts and truth so that we can make an informed decision moving forward. And so whatever is kind of gnawing at you, pulling at you, ruminating in your mind, having you think so heavily, and when you wake up, this thing is on your mind. When you are trying to be calm and still and in spaces, you feel anxious and you can't quite keep it together. This thing that is pulling at your energy in this way is what needs your attention. It is one of the greatest barriers that is preventing you from moving forward or feeling empowered in your next step. So take a second during this moon, Taurus, just to think about just taking inventory, right? Like mental inventory. Who can't I get off my mind? What is calling for my attention? And then how do I give it the attention that it needs, wants, deserves without compromising myself, but taking actionable steps? This moon is also very delicious because it is a soft moon, right? It's a Taurus moon, it's an earth moon, and it's a super full moon. And so it is nurturing in the sense that it is grounding. It is giving you permission to be. If you just want to rest this moon, this is not one of those moon transits, one of those lunations that's like you gotta light all the candles and go to the cemetery and do the work and say and pray and manifest. This is a chill Taurus moon. You know how we are. Like, yeah, you can come over and take a nap. Like, that's our friendship. I don't need to perform for you. You don't have to perform for me. I'm gonna cook because I'm hungry and we gotta eat. But don't feel like it's a formal dinner party to come to my house, right? That's the energy of Taurus. We just chill. Come in, I take you as you are, love me for who I am, and we can vibe that way. And this moon has very similar energy. It's very take me as I am. You can take it or you can leave it. It is what it is. The moon will fall into another sign in the next 3 days. We'll all move on with our lives, but this moon is giving you permission, if you're seeking it or asking it, to rest. Can I just rest? Can I just have a moment to myself? If you've been asking that question and it's been replaying in your head heavily recently, this moon is saying yes, you absolutely may. So with that being said, let's get into the cards and see what other information Spirit might want you to know at this time. You know how it goes. Like, comment, subscribe, share. If you get to the end of this video, if you like the energy of this video, please bless me with a red heart at the end. And I hope to see you in some of my spaces soon. I am currently not accepting private readings. I will be hosting an elemental equilibrium class, which is for astrological DNA, right? To help you understand, do I have more air or more fire in my chart? Maybe that's what I need to know and understand better so that I can navigate these spaces. And yeah. I hope to see you there. So, gracias a la misericordia de todos los espíritus santos y todos los espíritus buenos, dígame los mensajes que yo necesito que saber en ese momento for the Taurus Collective. Let's get into it. Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising. Oh, I have a piece of paper here. A piece of paper. Okay, what does Taurus need to know? The Wheel of Fortune, 7 of Wands in reverse. Page of Swords, 6 of Pentacles. Lovely. Look, the Wheel of Fortune is here. Oh, sorry, this way. 7 of Wands in reverse. The Page of Swords comes in reverse. 6 of Pentacles is also here. Lovely. What else does Taurus need to know, think about, consider under this moon? And for the month of November, for the first half of November, 9 of Cups with the 3 of Wands in reverse. Strength, 2 of Cups and 2 of Wands. Okay, my lovely Tauruses. Because the message is getting loud quickly. So as I just mentioned before, this 7 of Wands and this Page of Swords here is talking about a contract that you've been bound in. You see the 7 of Wands here. There is an energy of captivity here, trying to find peace in a prison. What I wanted to say just now is trying to find peace in a silent prison. And so for many folks, Tauruses alike, If since 2018 your spirituality has grown, if prior to 2018, Taurus, you were not heavily into meditation, chanting, breath work, tarot cards, getting readings, etc., etc., you weren't initiated, whatever, you weren't going to church, and then your spirituality took an uptick, part of this message for you is that your relationship with spirit and God and whatever energies, deities that you work and walk with, it shouldn't feel like jail. It shouldn't be, you shouldn't feel bound to it. Like, I can't move, there's no freedom. You should have the freedom to dip in and out. You don't have to go to every single church sermon every Sunday. You don't have to come to every tambol or bembe. You don't have to. As long as your relationship with your God and your spirits and yourself is strong and solid, all the other shit is all the other shit. But it does feel like there's a contract. You made a contract with yourself. You made a contract with spirit. You made a contract with your baba, your tata, your yaya, with somebody. And it feels a little bit like these obligations have become burdensome, right? Maybe you owe spirit something. Maybe you sat since 2018, you've been sitting there throwing coins, lighting candles, talking shit, and you haven't fulfilled your end of the bargain. And that's why you're starting to feel pulled apart by these spiritual obligations. It also feels like, as I mentioned before, these contracts are under review. The Page of Swords is in reverse. So something about something that has been signed or promised away, promised to you, or you made the promising, is not being fulfilled. There is a little bit of a road blockage here that is being addressed though, Taurus. So you have the Three of Wands in reverse, but it comes out with the Nine of Cups and Strength. So this is to say that your wish is being fulfilled. Behind the scenes, there are active pieces being moved in your favor, right? The Wheel of Fortune is here to confirm that. The Six of Pentacles is here to confirm that too, saying that you have the energy of reciprocity around you, the energy of giving and gifting and receiving. Somebody wants to pour into you. Somebody wants to take from themselves and give to you. The Two of Wands and the Two of Cups also clarifies that message to say, like, your vision is being seen and heard. You seem clear about the intentions of the vision, and so that can only bring you unity and harmony with someone else who wants to pour into this. Now, this can be a romantic partner, it can be a business partner. There's two tools that clarify the Six of Pentacles, so there is some harmony coming your way. But we do have to get outside of this energy of the ego. There is a little bit of, the Two of Wands is here, but the Three of Wands is in reverse. So usually when these two come together, it's to amplify the energy and say, like, yes, that vision is ready to go, right? Like, you can see it, other people can see it. It's about to bust wide open. In this space, with the two being upright, the three being in reverse, it feels like there may be, on your part or the part of someone else, there's some context missing. I feel like there is some passion that is misdirected here, and maybe that's why the thing is not getting off the ground. This Three of Wands also could be in conjunction with this Seven of Wands and this Page of Swords, because they're all in reverse. It feels very much like, also with Strength here, clarifying the Nine of Cups. I do feel, Taurus, that maybe your pride or your ego got in the way. This is a general, so take what applies to you. So for some and not all, it feels like this vision or this contract maybe is off kilter, off center, out of control, because some of you allowed your ego to get too involved. I'm not doing that. That's not for me. That's above or beneath me. That's above or beyond my pay grade. Let him do it. Why is he not doing it? Having very human responses, but it's interfering with a spiritual contract here. The other part of it feels very much like there's too much passion. Like this Three of Wands is like, you got too eager. You showed too much interest, too much enthusiasm. You leapt before you leaped, right? Like whatever how the saying goes, but you gave too much. You put too much sauce on it. You were doing too much. And that's why this thing is not taking off. Whatever this vision it is that you have for yourself, whatever that thing is from 2018 that's coming back around to say, okay, you were successful in these ways, but maybe not so much here. This is the contract that's currently under review. So checking your humility, That's the other part of the strength card, right? You could be full of hubris or you could be too humble. So some of you are doing too much, some of you are doing too little. And this Three of Wands is in reverse because your energy is too low. They want you to light the flame and really pour into this Two of Wands vision, and that will come to create the harmony. So again, it's general. You're going to take what applies for you, but there's a lot of layers around this. Somebody here is not having their spiritual contracts fulfilled or actual 3D contracts in a love relationship, in a business aspect, because one of these three aspects are not being tended to. Either you need to check your humility, you're not humble enough, you're too arrogant, you're doing the most. Others of you are too humble and the right people are not seeing you, and they can't pour into and invest in your vision because you don't speak about it enough out loud. And for the others of you, you just need to have some passion, like you're falling out of love with it. And maybe you, because there's a spirituality basis here as well, right? With this Seven of Wands. So it does feel like maybe you lost your faith, and that's why you're not pouring into a love relationship. That's why this contract is actually a marriage, right? And that marriage is failing. Again, you got married in 2018, but you're losing your faith because your partner has been consistently unfaithful. Take that back to the altar. This is not the time to abandon love and relationships, or maybe even this particular marriage. It is the time to go back to God, though, to find yourself back to the source, right? Maybe the contract here is about your small business that you ran for the last 8 years, since 2018. And now you've been falling out of love with that energy. Spirit is asking you to find the energy to pour back into why you started the business in the first place. What did you love about this work? Why did you start that LLC, start that company, start that podcast, start that YouTube channel? It wasn't for the accolades and going viral, right? There was a real desire to connect with people, to teach something, to find community, something. So Spirit is asking you, Taurus, for the month of November to get back to yourself and get back to source. What's the final here? The Devil is here, Capricorn energy. Leo energy is strong here with strength, and then there's also Capricorn energy with the Devil. So you could be dealing with those two kind of energies, or those could be other prominent placements in your own chart. The Devil is here when I ask for advice, saying, one, do witchcraft if you need to, baby. I'm not above it. Not the dark black kind, but the kind that can support you. If you got to throw somebody's raggedy ass in a jar, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. But do it with integrity. Go seek out a professional spiritualist if you are not too sure what you need to do. But this work feels like the witchcraft you need to be doing, Taurus, is on yourself. You need to be taking the baths. You need to be praying consistently. You need to be tending to your spirit through things that are not spiritual. So no shade, no tea. We all can do whatever we want. We all are affected differently. And it's not going to take away from your relationship with God by any means, right? You are God's child. God knows you. But when you are waking up and eating McDonald's for breakfast, having Wendy's for lunch, eating KFC for dinner, drinking nothing but Pepsis and sweet teas and drinking drinks, Don Julio, your connection with God is altered. Right? Again, some people can smoke crack for their whole lives and be the most prophetic prophets you'll ever meet. But is that you? And do you want to lower yourself to a certain standard? Right? Instead of you comparing yourself to the best or to people who are more elevated, you're sitting here saying, well, he smokes crack every day. Why can't I eat a McChicken? Instead of saying, well, this person, though, eats juice, drinks juice and vegetables and stretches every day. Let me aspire to that also and see what my relationship with God can be. So, Four of Swords. Yes, Taurus, you need rest. You definitely do need rest. Nine of Wands and the Fool is here to say, untying yourselves to things that feel insurmountable is one of the first steps. Absolutely getting rest is going to help to light the way. Lucid dreaming is also your friend, Taurus. But then the Nine of Wands is here with the Fool to say you need to stop worrying, get out of your head, get back into your heart, and you need to get outside. I feel like, Taurus, you know that we can be, Queen of Swords in reverse for the final card. Taurus, we can be very isolating when we feel like things are not happening for us. It can be hard for us to show up in the world, but they don't want you to do that this month. For the month of November, Taurus, if you can get outside, please do so, because it's going to be really important for your self-esteem. It's going to help you to think differently about your business and the way that you do work, and you need to be around people. Final for Taurus. Oracle, wait for important information. The answers are going to come to you. How best to move forward in this situation with this Capricorn, with this Leo, at this job, with this marriage, with this custody case, it's going to come to you. But stop trying to push it and force it. We know that Taurus are leaders. We know that we get the job done. We confront when we need to. You don't have to be so... Again, somebody been doing too much. Four of Swords is here saying that. High Priestess, harness your mystic power. Harness it. What is it that you're good at? Are you a prayer warrior? Does it feel like God responds to you quickly? Do more praying. If you know how to fix candles and you notice that you get results quickly, do more candles. Harness the energy that you have, though, instead of outsourcing it to other readers and spiritualists and practitioners. Stop trying to take on so much. Oh, you see that Che does candles and this person does readings and that person does baths. Let me try a little bit all this week. Stick to one practice, something that has supported you, has helped you, and max that out. Harness all that you can from it. See how you feel. Where's the strength coming from you when you light these candles, say these prayers, and tap into that and make that work for you instead of trying to gather all the tools at once. When we're feeling stressed out and feeling overburdened, it can feel very much like you need to get your hands into everything. But when you stretch yourself too thin, Taurus, you are going to end up losing more traction than you gain by sticking to one thing. So go to one practitioner, say one prayer, right? Say the Lord's Prayer at your ancestor altar and work with that one reader for some time. Give it some time for the things to happen. And if not, if things don't open up, if you don't feel stronger, more empowered, then maybe you can find another alternative. But there's a lot of energy being leaked out here, Taurus, and we can't afford that. Last one for my Taurus crew. Sage, be devoted and committed. Select one particular lane and work the shit out of that lane, at least for the month of November, at least for the first half of November, Taurus. If it doesn't work out for you, then when the new moon in Scorpio rolls around in 2 weeks, then maybe you can commit to something else. But no more stretching thin, no doing too much. This is a rested, rooted, and relaxed moon for all of us, my fellow bulls. I hope that was helpful for someone. A little bit long, play it in the background like a podcast. I love you so much. Stay blessed. Peace.